What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle today. My name is Ryan Linkletter. I am here with Dan Loya. We are talking week 6 predictions for you guys, going over our best bets, our picks, whatever you need to know heading into the week we have for you. Let's start off with the early game that's going to wake up. We're going to eat some breakfast and we're going to enjoy some football for the third straight week. The Denver Broncos look to continue their hot streak against the New York Jets. The Broncos have had a bit of an easier schedule to open the season. They look to build on that, become 4-2, and work towards an AFC West championship. Dan, what are your thoughts on this matchup, and can the Jets get their first win?
Um, well, breaking news: the Jets will not win a game in London. It doesn't matter where they play; they're going to lose this game, ladies and gentlemen. Over the pond, I think the Broncos are going to continue to build off their win last week against Philadelphia. That defense is scary, man. They're got to look up. Defense is scary. I love their pass rush. They're currently first. 89 quarterback pressures on the season, and the Jets cannot block right now. They cannot protect Justin Fields. So yeah, I'm going Denver. Denver on the road in London.
Yeah, I think that the interesting part about this is just New York's such an undisciplined team right now. They beat themselves. They have a ton of penalties. They don't block very well in passing situations.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're allowing a ton of chunk plays right now at the moment. The defense isn't the same as it once was. And, whether or not the state of Bo Nix is a successful one consistently right now, I don't think that matters very much. They're going to be able to ride J.K. Dobbins' coattails in this one. I like his over totals and an anytime touchdown bet for him. I also do like the under in this matchup as well. I do think the Broncos offense could struggle a bit. And we've seen in London some teams, sleepwalk through games, whether that's on the offense or defensive side of the ball. So it could be a little risky betting the under, but I like that based on how both these teams have played this year. So J.K. Dobbins bets are good ones. I got the Denver Broncos winning this game. Let's talk about some other good games here. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Indianapolis Colts. Dan, this is a big time game for the Cardinals, and Kyler Murray struggling with some health stuff. Give us some insights on kind of what we should be looking at for this matchup.
Yeah, well, I think he's been hurt. Jonathan Gannon had a meeting on press conference on Monday. He addressed the media, and he said Kyler had a foot injury from against the Tennessee Titans. He left at one point during the game as well, but he came back and he played the rest of the game. But yeah, he's trending in the wrong direction, and I don't think he's going to play on Sunday. I think we're going to see Jacoby Brissett in this offense, and it should be a fun game though. I think the Cardinals defense has played tough all year, but they got a tall task this week against the Colts, who I believe are the number one ranked team EPA wise. Yeah,
They're
number one ranked.
dominating in
Yeah,
EPA.
number one ranked team in the NFL. The high powered offense. They're red hot right now. This is gonna be a tough game. I think what's gonna happen. What's funny is, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win because I think their offense is gonna move the ball. I think Jacoby's a better fit than Kyler Murray in this offense. I'm working on something for the site so you guys can read about it. But yeah, if Jacoby plays, which I'm anticipating, I think they're gonna put up points. But unfortunately, this defense is gonna put up more, and they're gonna lose what, four straight. So I got the Colts on Sunday.
I got the Colts as well. I really like Daniel Jones' matchup against his defense. The Cardinals, despite their expensive pass rush, have not been that good to start the season. They're actually below average right now in pressure rate. Daniel Jones against low pressure teams has been very successful this year. And then we know this offense has been dominating in terms of efficiency. Jonathan Taylor set a really good year, and the Cardinals' run defense isn't that good either. That's a very tough matchup when a team is relying on their defense. Kyler Murray's probably going to be out in this one. There's not a lot that has a lot of hope for me for the Cardinals. And it looks like they're going to be the fourth best team in this division. We'll talk about their counterpart right now in the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks have a massive game in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. We got two teams competing right now, Dan, that are in a much different situation than they were in 2024. Both are competing for playoff spots and division titles this year. Who do you like in this matchup of two teams that are starting to break out?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the road team. I'm taking the team from Seattle. Mike McDonald on the road. He's 9-1. 10 road games. He's 9-1. He gets his teams ready to go on the road. They lost the heartbreaker at home against Tampa Bay, and I'm just gonna bank on. I know the Jaguars are really good. They had a tough game on Monday night. I'm banking on that they're too hyped up right now. They're gonna rest on their laurels. And just one thing that just throughout Jacksonville is Trevor Lawrence is good for like 1, 2 mental mistakes a game. He did it on Monday. He had that end zone fumble at the 1 yard line. He threw a pick in the game as well. I'm banking on that. That's going to happen against Seattle, and Seattle's a good team. They're third in quarterback pressures. They're going to get after them, and I'm going to take Mike McDaniel's team on Sunday.
Yeah, I know the Seahawks are a little beat up in the secondary. They got bullied a little bit by the Bucks last week, and
Yeah,
I think that was a little bit of a wake up call for this team that was having a really strong performance early on in the year on the defensive side of the ball, but struggled last week. But I think they'll be a little bit in better shape against the
it's a bounce back.
Jaguars. My biggest thing looking at this matchup is the Seahawks offense has been really good this season, probably the most underrated unit in the NFL. Clint Kubiak has done a great job with Sam Darnold becoming, we talked about Daniel Jones' efficiency. Sam Darnold's been just as good as Daniel Jones is this year, but maybe talked about less. You have a backfield combination of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet that's really good. JSN is arguably the best receiver in football outside of Puka Nacua right now in terms of yardage production this year. So a lot of stuff's going right on the offensive side of the ball. And the Jaguars defense is one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL this season. I know they added Greg Newsome. That should help, but I don't know how much he's going to play in his first week for this team. And the Jaguars really struggled to get home against the Chiefs last week. And the Seahawks have done a
Yeah.
pretty good job of protecting Sam Darnold. So the Jaguars, while they are 4-1, it feels like they might be, I don't want to call them a fraudulent 4-1, but they are an inflated 4-1 for sure. As last week they were probably, what was it? They were the highest net negative rating in terms of a winning team against the Chiefs. Similar story against San Francisco. This team is not necessarily a 4-1 team right now. I think the Seahawks are a better team. And I do absolutely love this bet, Dan. Are you ready?
What do you got? I'm listening.
AJ Barner, anytime touchdown,
Oh,
once again will be hitting in this matchup. I love it against Jacksonville, who's really struggled against tight ends. Travis Kelsey had a big week last week. So I expect him to find the end zone for us and make us some money. Let's talk about a game that has a potential MVP candidate, dare I say, in the matchup. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys take on the Carolina Panthers this week. I feel like this is a massive game for the Cowboys and the Panthers, considering two different headlines. The Panthers obviously want to see what they have in Bryce Young. They got a massive come from behind win against the Dolphins last week. And sure, both teams have struggled last year, but that was a big time step in the right direction. Then you got the Cowboys. It seems like they could be competing for a playoff spot this year, despite their defensive struggles. Who do you got in this matchup?
I took Dallas, another road team. A road favorite here. I just think I don't know if you watched any of that game last week, but Bryce Young is another one that just simple mistakes, man. He had a terrible fumble early in the game on Sunday. He threw I believe he threw an interception too. I have it in my notes, but I just don't trust Bryce Young right now. And the way they won that game, they won is their run game. And I know Dallas is in
Rico
the
Dowdle.
yeah, Rico Dowdle had a huge game on Sunday, and then I know Dallas is in. They're ranked 23rd against the run, so they're nothing special. But this is the game why they brought Kenny Clark. As long as they stop the run, they should be able to contain Bryce Young in that offense. But I think it will be a high scoring game. I really like Tetaroa McMillan to have a huge game on Sunday. He hasn't scored a touchdown, so I'm gonna throw it out there that he will score his first touchdown on Sunday against the Cowboys. But Dak, I just trust Dak in that offense more. They're running the ball. I believe they're the number one running team in the NFL. Dak's playing great right now. Great connection with George Pickens. So I think it will be a shootout, but the Cowboys will eventually score more points than Carolina.
Yeah, I think it's interesting right now to kind of look at both these teams. Cowboys match up really well with the Panthers. Whenever they match up against a team that also has a bad defense, they are going to be in for a good spot because the offense is going to be able to move the ball, and the defense, is going to be able to potentially hold down Bryce Young. You talk about the mental mistakes. I don't think he's the long term answer for that team. On Dallas's side of things, they're finding a nice, I don't know how you call it. They're finding a nice group of contributors when CD Lamb has been out. It's been different guys stepping up in big moments for this team in the passing game. Javante Williams has completely looked like a different running
Yeah, he
back in
looks
Dallas
awesome.
as well. And the one thing is, I really like Brian Schottenheimer. He's done a great job for this team this year. And I'm going to take the better coach team in the Dallas Cowboys. I like them to cover. I like a Jake Ferguson over on receptions total this week. And I also love a Javante Williams anytime touchdown. You parlay those three together, you're going to be making yourself some money in the Cowboys Panthers ball game. Let's take a look at an important game right here. and it is the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dan, I'm going back and forward in this one, and this is a massive game for the Steelers to maintain their division lead right now over the Baltimore Ravens while they are still down. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it will be a close game. Just the divisional matchup, man. These teams know each other, but the one thing I'm gonna bank on in this matchup is the Browns just played overseas, and they got to play a tough road game. The Steelers are well rested coming out of the bye. They should be ready to go. They have some more film on how the Browns are going to attack on offense with their quarterback Gabriel. So, and also a stat since 2007, since Mike Tomlin took over the team, he has a record of 14-4 after the bye. So he's going to have those Steelers ready to go, and it's going to be a tough matchup for that quarterback on the road. So I took Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I'm going back and forth with it, but like Cleveland's defense is gonna, they're good. They're a pretty good unit right now, and I think that that's the reason why I'm considering them as a pick here. I don't like either team. If you're betting on this game, I don't like any sort of spreads. I don't like any sort of money lines for this game. The Browns are coming off of that foreign trip this week, which makes things tough in terms of betting on them. But then you also consider the fact that the Steelers had the bye week as well. They are well rested. They're well prepared for this division matchup. I think it's hard to go against the Steelers when you take a look at it, but these teams are awfully a lot closer than people think. And I don't think Dylan Gabriel played that bad last week against the
No.
Minnesota Vikings. So I think it's going to be a close one. I do like David Njoku bets in this one. I absolutely love, what he could potentially do in this matchup. Outside of that, there's a lot of player props I'm staying away from in there.
Yeah. Hey, real
Let's
real
talk
quick,
about
Ryan.
two teams that won last week. What were you going to say?
Sorry, no, just to add on, just I think the Browns, or sorry, the Steelers are a more disciplined team. They're first in the NFL in total penalties. The Browns are middle of the pack, and also it just seems like every game the Steelers make plays. Just look at the game against New England. That defense, whenever they need it, they always step up, and it seems that either TJ Watt or Highsmith always makes a big play. They're currently +7 in a turnover differential, second in the NFL. So I think if it's close, that defense is gonna pull it off for 'em.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about two teams that won last week, the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, the Patriots, if they win again, I mean, this team is looking like a playoff team. They have an incredibly easy schedule. Drake May has looked really good this year. The Patriots have a strong run defense. I'm leaning
Yeah.
Patriots in this one. I think this will be a good matchup for them. I absolutely love Alvin Kamara unders in terms of rushing yards and total yards in this one. Patriots have been limiting running backs the entire year. Drake May overs look very nice as well. Two touchdowns for him looks juicy. And I do like Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson bets as well in this matchup. What are you looking at in Patriots Saints?
Yeah, I think this is another good game for New England's young core to build on that big win Sunday night against Buffalo. They got to travel to New Orleans. It's always a tough place to play, but they're the fourth ranked team. They're giving up only 85.6 yards per game on the ground. And the one thing the Saints do well is they run the football. They're currently at 14th in yards in the NFL. So I think the Patriots have the advantage there, and I think they're gonna pull this one out as long as they come ready to play, they, which I expect they will. For Vrabel's a great coach, and I just think Drake May's gonna have another good game. They're gonna be able to stop the run and just build on their success from Sunday.
Yep. Sounds good with me. Let's take a look at three games that aren't necessarily some of the popular, but definitely have some impacts here. The Tennessee Titans travel to Las Vegas, two teams that are really struggling to open up the season. You also have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Baltimore Ravens, and then you have the Chargers taking on the Miami Dolphins. Dan, we're going to rapid fire these three picks in a parlay. I am rocking Rams, I am rocking Chargers, and I'm rocking Raiders in this one. Out of those three, I think the Titans actually have the best chance of pulling it out this week for those three teams, but I would not discount the Miami Dolphins. As far as the Baltimore Ravens go, they're absolutely depleted right now. Derrick Henry unders feel like a free bet in this matchup. I do like Zay Flowers overs. As far as the Chargers games go, I expect Hassan Haskins or Kamani Vidal to have a nice day against a struggling Miami Dolphins defense. But I think their offense has proven that they can keep themselves in a game. And then Tennessee versus Las Vegas, two teams that don't have an offense identity, it feels like right now. And they're looking for one and some consistency on that side of the ball. I think the Raiders are too talented to lose that matchup against the Titans, who were basically gifted a game against the Cardinals last week. So that's what I'm thinking with those three matchups, Dan. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the Titans gonna put up a tough game, and I don't know if it's big on the internet right now or on social media, but Pete Carroll's for the Raiders game. Pete Carroll's been throwing jabs at Chip Kelly because he's defending his quarterback, and he
Oh,
said, "Well,
wow.
yeah, yeah, I can send you the quote, but he spoke to the media and he's like, well, Gino's not calling the plays." So I think there's a little back and forth, and then their defensive coordinator Patrick Graham, he was really upset today. He was pissed off to say the least. He was just like, we got to take over the game, get a hold of the ball. I got to find the quote, but it's just something's going on in Las Vegas right now. So we're gonna see what team shows up on Sunday. It's gonna be a tough game. Jeffrey Simmons is pretty much unblockable right now, and the Raiders cannot block up
Yeah.
front. And Cam Ward looked great. I know a lot of stuff happened against the Cardinals for them to pull it out, but Cam Ward made some good throws. He's looked solid all year, so that's going to be a fun game to watch. Real quick, the Chargers in Miami. The Chargers cannot block. They're missing their two tackles, but I don't think Miami's going to take advantage of it, and they're going to be able to run the football on Miami. So yeah, I'm with you. Haskins is going to. I think Haskins is going to have a big game, and then what was that other game you said? Oh yeah, the
Chargers
Rams.
and Ravens.
Yeah, yeah,
Or not, Rams and
yeah,
Ravens, sorry.
yeah. Rams. I think Rams are going to be pissed off. They came out sleeping last week on Thursday night. They gave away that game against the 49ers. Too many mistakes, too many fumbles. They had 10 days rest, and I think they're going to take advantage of a team in Baltimore that's going in the wrong direction right now. So yeah, give me the Rams on the road.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's get into the later slate of games. We'll talk about another doozy right here, the Green Bay Packers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen, the
Go
Packers have looked
Flacco.
really bad. They've looked really bad the last two games we've seen. They had a bye week to regroup. Is there any chance Joe Flacco in his first start has a chance against this Cincinnati team?
All right, so I have a question for you. Do
All
we
right.
think he knows the plays? Does he know the playbook, or is he
Well,
just going to
here's the thing with
schoolyard you?
Zach Taylor. All you got to do is go out a shotgun, and then you just figure it
It's
out from there. I mean, I feel like Zach Taylor has one of the simpler playbooks. I don't know what the
Mhm.
terminology is going to look like for him, but Joe Flacco's been around. I think he can plug and play in a system. And if any system is easier for a quarterback to learn, I guarantee you it's Zach Taylor's.
Yeah, I just think it's because what people don't understand, and I'm not saying you, but the general public, it's not like baseball. Like a guy gets traded and he's in the lineup next day.
Yeah.
You're hitting third, fourth. Like football is completely different. So it's amazing that they're just going to throw him out there on the road against Green
That's how
Bay,
bad Jake
and they're
Browning's been.
I know it just Green Bay's pass rush is scary to say the least. Mika Parsons is going to come after him. They're huge favorites too. Yeah, that no. No way. I mean, I really think you're gonna see Joe Flacco, he's gonna have the football and start drawing plays like, we used to do back in the day. That's what he's gonna do in the huddle. It's not gonna be good enough. That the Bengals defense still stinks, and, yeah, no, I believe in the Packers more. Jordan Love's gonna shred them. So, go Pack, go in that one.
All right, let's get into a good matchup here. The 49ers facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We saw last week Kyle Shanahan won with a bunch of guys off the streets at receiver, Mac Jones at
No.
quarterback. This guy's an offensive genius, and he's facing a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that is absolutely relentless. Been basically in a one-score game every game this year and come out on top in four of them. Dan, what are your thoughts heading into this matchup? I think this one's going to be a good battle.
Yeah, I think so too. This can be another fun one. It looks like as of right now, it looks like, Mac Jones is gonna start this matchup. It's just amazing how banged up the 49ers are, and they just keep finding ways to win. I mean, damn, look at Mike Evans. Well, obviously he's out. Chris Godwin's did not practice today. Yeah, they're missing bodies too. I went with Tampa, but this could be another close one. You just can't count out these 49ers. But I'm just gonna bank on that this game's gonna be close. Tampa Bay's another elite team. It should be a fun game, but if it's close, Baker's gonna pull it out like he's been all season. You leave the door open for Baker, he should be a MVP candidate right now because it seems like if it's late in the game, he pulls his team up and he always finds a way to win right now. So give me the Bucks at home.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of the deciding factor for me is that, despite their big time win last week, the 49ers, the Rams had so many opportunities to win that game and they
Yeah,
just never seized it. It kind of felt like them and the Chiefs, like they just kind of gave the games away to the 49ers and Jaguars last week instead of, getting thoroughly outplayed. So you think about that, the 49ers, right, probably should have lost last week. Add in the fact that Baker Mayfield has been nails in one score games
yeah,
this year. And I know this team has been very volatile on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't think they have to be overly talented or great on the Buccaneers side of things against this 49ers team. They're not facing very talented players on the 49ers offense. You have basically it's Christian McCaffrey, and once you shut down Christian McCaffrey, then you have favorable matchups everywhere else. I do like Jake Tungus and Kendrick Bourne to have nice days against this Bucks defense. I think Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings are once again going to miss this one. Obviously, George Kittle also
yeah.
out as well. And on the Bucks side of
Banged up.
things, Emeka Agabuka is unstoppable right now. So I really like those guys in bets, but I'm rocking with the
Yeah.
Bucks. I think Baker Mayfield is going to be good.
What about Mac Jones too? Like, I'm kinda worried because even Thursday, he took a couple hits and he started limping. So we don't know
I
what
think
his
he'll be
stat I know
fine.
he's
They've
gonna
been,
play, but, like, I don't know if I don't know how healthy he is because he was hurt against the Cardinals. He was hurt Thursday night, and, that pass rush for Tampa, they're currently 2nd in the NFL, 86 pressures on the year. So if somehow he goes down and their backup comes in, yeah, they're not gonna win that game. So just 49ers are running out of bodies, man. It's hard to win in this league. And Kyle Shanahan pulled the rabbit out of his hat on Thursday night. He's a great coach, but let's see if his luck runs out on Sunday. We'll be watching.
yeah, we will see. I think that's going to be a really fun game to watch for sure. Sunday night football, the best matchup of the week, a must-win game. If
No
you're,
bias,
it's not
no
a
bias.
must-win game. Lions and Chiefs. There's never bias when I make a take. I always go with the facts. I guess I'll start with this one.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, go ahead.
The Chiefs are once again in everybody's minds a bad football team since they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I've mentioned this twice now on the show. They thoroughly outplayed the Jaguars. They had more penalties, and they found every way to lose that game last week on the special team side of it, which is coming from a team that's been really good on special teams since Dave Toub took over. So I think they will clean the penalties up on that side of the ball. I think where I look at this matchup and the X factor the Chiefs have is the Lions are going to be without their top two cornerbacks. DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold will both be out. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown practiced today. He'll be in, which is a good sign for the Lions. They'll be healthy on the offensive side of the ball. Taylor Decker's a little banged up, but they should be fine there as well. But that is the biggest X factor for me. This Chiefs offense looks like they're starting to find their rhythm, and their offensive line has looked really good over the last 2 weeks, and that's very encouraging considering the fact that they get Rashee Rice back next week long term. But this offense is moving the ball very well, and then you kind of flip sides of it. Jared Goff, home and road splits are a real thing, Dan. And yes, Kansas City
Let's
has
hear it.
struggled. It felt like, what do you say?
No, I want to hear it. What's the stat? What is it?
The stat, well, not the Jared Goff fantasy stat I know for sure is that he has
Oh,
been under 25 total points this year, home on the road games versus at home. He's been very good. But the stat I wanted to mention for the Chiefs is that outside of Justin Herbert's week one performance, no quarterback has gone over 225 passing yards or 2 touchdowns against this defense. Now, where they've struggled is quarterbacks who've been able to run. We saw Trevor Lawrence have the best rushing game of his career
point.
last week. Lamar Jackson still ran the ball very effectively. Justin Herbert ran the ball very well against this defense. Jared Goff is not top 6 rushing yards this season. So that kind of plays in the fact that Kansas City, yes, they haven't been great against the run, and that's going to be their toughest task is finding a way to limit Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, but they don't have to worry about that extra element with Jared Goff that they have really struggled with as a front four this year is containing pass rush lanes and not allowing quarterbacks to scramble. So I think on Sunday Night Football, yes, both teams are going to score a lot, but the deciding factor will be the Kansas City Chiefs not having to worry about a quarterback rushing to beat them, and they can play their defense straight up, blitz Jared Goff when they need to, and find a way to take advantage of a inexperienced interior offensive line against a very advanced blitz package. I got the Chiefs. And you know what I do like in this matchup, Dan? a Tyquan Thornton anytime touchdown to hit in this one. He's been really good for them. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Just their injuries. I'm looking at the Lions injury report, like when we put in picks and studying film. But yeah, I mean they're missing Brian Branch. He didn't. Well, he was limited today. Their top safety, Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph. He's one of the top safeties in the NFL. He did not practice. Taylor Decker, their tackle, did not practice. I think they're just missing bodies. And then even like looking at their schedule, they played the Packers week 1 and they lost. They lost the tough one on the road. But you look at the defenses they played. They played Chicago. It's not a very good defense. Baltimore, we know what's going on there. Cleveland's the best defense they did, and Jared Goff only threw 168 yards against them. And then Cincinnati, we know Cincinnati can't stop anybody. So I think this is gonna be a tough game. Kansas City is gonna be very pissed off. It's a short week, but just like that was a good stat. They held quarterbacks under 200 yards all season, and yeah, Jared Goff's not going to scramble. So as long as they stop that Detroit run game, Montgomery and Gibbs, they should be able to pull this one out. It's going to be a close one because I always count the Lions out, and they find a way to win with different people. But yeah, I just think it's going to be too many injuries for them. They're going to miss too many key people on defense, and I like the Chiefs' offense. I think they're last week showed me that they're kind of finding some groove, and you saw it in person. So if that continues, they'll pick up a big win at home this week on Sunday night.
You know what's crazy before we move on is that I don't know about you. You probably don't get the same vibe as me, but I feel more confident that this Chiefs team has a higher ceiling than the Chiefs team I've watched over the last 2 years because their offense finally has a strong left tackle. They're moving the ball effectively down the field. Their air yards are back up. Their defense isn't maybe as
Yeah,
good as it once was, but
no, it's not.
they could be a 10 through 12 unit with that offense, and it could be really interesting. I think they're a team we have to watch towards the end of the season. I don't know if they're going to have the record to start the year, but we'll see what happens when the season goes out. And we have two Monday night football games this week.
Yeah,
Buffalo is traveling to Atlanta. I think this is going to be closer than people think. The Bills have had a very easy
absolutely.
schedule to open up this year. Had a wake up call against the New England Patriots last week. And here's what I'll say with this game: Josh Allen needs to become Josh Allen because this Falcons defense is for real. They have great edge rushers. They've been stopping the run very well. They have absolutely blanketed tight ends this year. So it is going to be up to Josh Allen to elevate his performance and play great. And on that defensive side of the ball, it is time for this unit to finally step up and make some plays because they have struggled this year, Dan. And I think this is a chance for Michael Penix on the big stage to prove if he is going to be the guy long term in Atlanta against a team that has been really good over the last 5 years. I don't know if I can pick the
I'm
Atlanta
waiting. Are you
Falcons.
picking them? Oh,
I'm not going to pick them. I can't pick them, but I will pick them to cover. They are going to cover. The
okay.
Falcons are covering in this matchup. I like Bijan anytime touchdown. He's going to have a great game against a weak Buffalo Bills run defense, but Josh Allen's going to be able to get the job done in the primetime spotlight. I don't know if the Falcons are quite ready for that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think first off, just I like these doubleheader Monday nights. I like them personally. I know we had a bad one a couple weeks ago. It was like the
Yeah, it was
Jets
a
and
really bad
we had
one.
the Dolphins. Mark this down. This week, these two games are going to be awesome. These two games are going to make up for it because I can't wait for these games. I'm really excited for them. It should be a great Monday night. But I'm with you. It's going to be a closer game than people expect. But the one thing I do worry about is I don't know if Atlanta is going to be able to stop the run. Trying to get this number for you because yeah, they're in the bottom half of the NFL, and that's like the weakness, or that's what the Bills want. Last week, the Bills Cook didn't run wild against the Patriots. Uh, the Bills offense clicks because they get their run game going, and it's just so hard to defend James Cook and Josh Allen. So I don't think the Falcons are gonna be able to stop the run on on Monday night, and I think the Bills are gonna pull it out. It's gonna be close. The Bills are gonna have a tough time defending this offense. They got to worry about Bijan, Drake London, and all those receivers, Kyle Pitts. But I think the Bills are gonna be able to run wild. Cook should have a good game, and they're gonna pull out a big one on the road.
It feels like James Cook, Bijan Robinson anytime pair in a parlay looks like a really good bet on Monday night for sure. Final game, Bears versus Commanders. This feels like a revenge game for the Bears, whose season completely turned around on the Hail Mary for the Commanders last year. Both teams went in different directions after that. And the Commanders are coming off of a big time win versus the Chargers. Jay Daniels is healthy. Bills breakouts happened. I think they match up really well against Chicago. Chicago is not very good against the run. The Commanders obviously are one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. That's where the line's drawn for me. The Bears offense has been wildly inconsistent this year. They've shown flashes of, really brilliant plays to start the game, but they haven't maintained after that game script has expired from Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson is doing a good job in Chicago, but it's all up to Caleb Williams as to how far the Bears ship is going to go. I can't buy into Caleb Williams just yet for this team behind a really shaky defense. I'll say that. So I'm
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
Washington Commanders. I absolutely love Bill anytime touchdown and over on his rushing yard total in this matchup. And I also do like Romo Dunze to have a pretty nice day against a Washington secondary. What are your thoughts, Dan, heading into this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but just the key, just deciding between these two teams. Washington's gonna be able to run the football. They average 156 rush yards per game, and the Bears are one of the worst teams in the league. They're giving up 165 rushing yards per game. They've given up 19, 10 plus yards or more on the ground. It just if it's close, and I just don't think the Bears are gonna be able to stop them on the ground. But the thing about Washington is they got to give the ball to our guy Bill. So hopefully he starts. He needs to get more touches. He's the best running back on that team now that Eckler is hurt. So that's the key X factor, that just the Bears aren't going to be able to stop that run game. And then I mean, I believe in the Bears offense. I really like Ben Johnson, but their two best games have been against the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. So and 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 I like the Commanders pass rush. They're very underrated. They're really big up front, and I think they're going to cause problems for Caleb Williams. He's going to be on the run a lot on Monday night.
Yep, should be a great week in week 6. Hopefully it is not as crazy and we don't miss as many picks this week as it was in week 5. Week 6 is already off to a crazy start with New York beating the Eagles, but that's the NFL right now. You can't really predict much. So sports books are winning a lot of money, but we're going to make that even this week with a great week 6 prediction show. If you guys enjoyed this, drop a comment down below. What's your hottest take for this week? Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Blitz angle content. And me and Dan will catch you guys next time.